Hi guys, welcome back to Time to Unbind. I'm Elizabeth. I do book reviews, book tag, monthly wrap up, and other bookish content. If this is your cup of tea, please leave a like and please subscribe to my channel. Really, please, really helps a lot. And I really appreciate it. Today I'm going to be talking about a really good book called They Never Learn by Layne Fargo. So what's this book about? This book is a dark and twisted vigilante psychopathic psychological thriller about a English professor at Gorman University named Scarlett Clark and a freshman student called Carly Skiller. So Scarlett leads a sort of double life as an esteemed college professor by day and a vicious serial killer at night. In her mind, she is ridding the world of all the evil men, all the scum who have subjected women to unforgivable abuse. So, she's been doing this for 16 years and she hasn't been caught yet. She's usually extremely cautious when she kills her victims. She usually tries to portray their deaths as accidental or a suicide or something or other, where murder isn't even like a possibility, considered as a possibility, and so she's off scot-free. However, one night she takes on a very personal case, if I can call it like that. And as a result, she gets sloppy because she gets emotional, and it's like, she really hates this guy. Because it's very personal. And that causes like a kind of like a domino effect in her life, and shit real. Like stuff gets really messy and interesting and stressful. So yeah, the other person is bad. Carly Skiller is shy and introverted, and as mentioned before, she's a freshman at Gorman University. Her biggest reason for choosing a university that was so far from home is so that she can get away from her emotionally abusive father and kind of like get away from her mother too, because her mother takes it and she doesn't really do anything about what's going on there, and that's quite sad. And yeah, she gets assigned to a room of a popular and outgoing girl named Alison Hadley, and after a while the two girls start forming a friendship, but something really bad happens. Carly sees Alison being sexually assaulted while unconscious. This causes a string of effects that kind of like forces Carly's hand to take matters into her own hands. She feels that no one else is giving enough of a damn to actually do something about this, and she decides she has to act because of it. And yeah, so what did I love about this book? Well, in a sense, this book brings to light a very serious issue in society today about how common emotional and sexual abuse actually is, and how impossible it is for some people to find justice for what has been done to them. When it comes to emotional abuse, it's even impossible to prove because there's no scars. Most of the time it's just word of mouth, and how do you prove that? It's just, yeah, and it's very obvious that some people have a very skewed perspective of what counts and what doesn't as sexual abuse. Whether or not you were flirting with that person, whether or not you were, this is a classic, looking for it, or wearing a short skirt, or can't even. I think it's a little bit backwards. I think some people believe that if a person, it's a bit backwards, right? It's like, but she didn't say no. Well, did she say yes? That's how it's supposed to be. Like, if a person is rendered unable to get consent, that's a no. If there's no explicit affirmation that everything is okay, then that's a no. The assumptions should always be no. The assumptions shouldn't be yes. It's supposed to be common sense. Anyway, I've ranted too much about that. I enjoyed Scarlett's dark humor and her strong personality. This book is very well written and engaging. I wasn't bored 1 second throughout this entire book, so that's really it's a good read. What did I not like about this book? Throughout this book, there seems to be a recurring theme that all heterosexual men are evil, and I feel like that's not a very good message to send. Yeah. I would like to see some good guys that in that respect as well, to paint a bit more realistic view of the world. So yeah, that's just a little bit of a pet peeve of mine, but I still have to like keep in mind that it's fiction. It's just a story, but I just feel like another thing I didn't like is the fact that Scarlett herself is involved with a male student, whereas one of the things she despises of the male professors. So I feel like that's kind of like double standard match. And it's written in a way that somehow, and this is kind of like mind-boggling, somehow it's justified that she's doing it, because of certain factors and whatever and whatnot. And I feel like just it's still not right. Whatever you believe, wrong goes both ways. So yeah, I felt like I didn't quite like that a lot from this. Don't like double standard. It kind of makes it feel like there's like a subtext. It's another bad message being sent where men being abused is somehow less important and less relevant, and perhaps that's not what the author was trying to convey, but most likely not. But that's the kind of perspective that it's giving me, and I don't think it's bad. But because this book was written, despite all these negative points, I still have to remember this is a work of fiction, and it was an artistic expression. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 because I wasn't bored for 1 second. It was really interesting. It was engaging, and I felt it was well written. So I would recommend this book to anyone who loves a good psychological thriller, but no under 18s. I don't think there was really like super explicit content in this book. I can't remember if there were or not. I think there might have been, but not so much. But because I'm saying this, like, no, like kids or teenagers or whatever should definitely not even teenagers should read this book, because there's because of the negative points I mentioned earlier. But all in all, it was a good read. I did give it a 4 out of 5. Really good, really well written. Yeah, so guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you did and if you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you have any thoughts or opinions about this book, have you read it? Even if you disagree with my negative points, just chat. Let's talk about it. I'd love to hear what your opinions are, and let's discuss. Thank you again so much for watching. I appreciate you guys so much. I love you guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Yeah, bye.